are live at the Xfinity Arena here at the Wedding Expo. Hi, Johnny.
We're at the Xfinity Arena, baby.
We are. And there's a ton of brides waiting here, but I wanted to get our first guest on. This would be the infamous Jeremiah Kahn from the Seattle Hilton. Hello.
It's me. Hello. You just can't get rid of me, can you?
I can't. You even got a booth next to us.
I know. We get to be each other with each other all weekend.
We do. I know. We're stuck. We have a big event tonight.
I know. It's exciting. Victoria Clipper, big holiday party in January.
Yep.
So.
Well, a lot of corporate parties are still going on. January, February, March.
Yeah, January is the new December.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of companies don't get their money, get to determine how much money they have for a holiday party till the end of the year.
Yeah.
So it's
and
pretty beneficial.
Realistically, you can save a lot of money doing it in January because for the hotels and venues, it slows down a little bit after the holidays. So if you can push your holiday party back, we can cut you a deal.
Absolutely. So you just remodeled.
Yeah. So we redid everything, essentially. The building was built back in 1970, and so it's got some really awesome history to it. And it was a little bit overdue for kind of an overhaul, so we basically did all of the guest rooms, all of the public space, meeting space, and as you know, the crown jewel is now the new top of the Hilton event space, which just has, sweeping views of the Seattle skyline, Puget Sound, and a really unique angle on the city that you don't really get anywhere else. So
you guys just pretty much did a hard reset.
Yeah, pretty much. And so it's nice because they also kind of were very up to speed with really modern trends. They have chevron carpets in the foyer, the whole lobby level, and then the ballroom has like a really nice kind of like hexagon sort of shape with reds and blues and very neutral but statement colors. So I think it's a very good decision. And
yeah, chevrons have been in, and I don't think they're going away anytime soon.
No, I think it's kind of the new, probably next couple of years, you'll see chevron, and then it'll kind of fade out and come back in. You never know.
You never know, but it goes with everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Loving it.
And tell everybody really quick, because you're having a Valentine's dinner.
Yeah, so we're actually doing a wine dinner on Saturday, February 14th. So take maybe you and your significant other, maybe make a couple date out of it. It's a 5-course wine dinner, and each of them kind of paired with a wine from Brown Family Vineyards, which is a really great local winery out of Walla Walla, Washington. And it's really sweet. This brand of their wine was actually made by the winemaker for his wife. So it's a really cute kind of like coupley sort of thing.
And where's it from?
It's from Walla Walla, Washington.
From where?
Walla Walla.
Isn't that so much fun to say?
It is.
I'm just messing with you. Walla Walla,
Walla
Washington.
Walla.
I would love to live there just to be able to say that.
I do too. I wonder if they have wallabies in Walla Walla, Washington.
Probably not.
Probably not.
No. That's one of my daughter's goals in life, though, is to get a wallaby someday.
Yes, and then my favorite thing I forgot to mention about the wine dinner, 10% of the proceeds we're donating to the Hope Heart Institute, which is to find a cure for heart disease. And so, Valentine's Day, you can take your special someone to a nice night on the town, treat them to a nice wine dinner, and doing it for a good cause. And we have a really great room rate going on, so if you book the wine dinner, you get a discounted rate of $159 per night, and currently it's selling like over $200. So you're going to really steal on the rooms and just make a make a weekend out of it.
Nice.
So
yeah, people are looking for stuff to do on Valentine's Day too.
Yeah, and it's fun. And I mean, eventually, we're going to kind of turn this into, my plan is for kind of like a wine dinner series. So every quarter we'll have different wine dinners paired with different charities. I have thoughts for murder mystery dinners. I think we should do open to the public casino parties at the top of the Hilton, and then New Year's Eve we're going to do a black tie New Year's Eve party at the top of the Hilton, because we do have a view of the Space Needle. So, stay tuned for lots of exciting things coming from the Seattle Hilton.
I think they do really well. There's another hotel downtown that we DJ on New Year's, and you'd be amazed at how many people, because people love to bounce around on New Year's.
It's just like, a party, and I mean, I'm thinking, there'll be a relatively competitive price per person. You'll get a few drink tickets, appetizers. You can stick through to the ball drop and see that whole thing. So,
and then get a room there,
and you can get a room and
make it a night.
Break in our new bed, our newly renovated guest rooms. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, sure. So, as far as brides, because that's what we're talking about today, how many can you accommodate there?
So the grand ballroom can do up to 350 people seated at rounds of 10. Now, if we were going to go something that big, you would have to do the ceremony on site. I've been finding kind of like our magic number is like 120, because that way you can do the ceremony, because our ballroom does split into 4 sections. So if 120 is your number, you could do the ceremony in like the windward, which is the left section of the ballroom, and then you could move right next door for the dinner in the leeward, and then, you know, after that, everyone can transition to the top. So you're getting to kind of flow between all of our event spaces.
Sure. And I'm pitching to a bride, too, to get married at the top of the Hilton. They go down for the dinner reception and then come back up for the dancing, too.
Yeah, that would be fun, too. I mean, there's just so many different ways you can spin it. I mean, that top of the Hilton space is on the 29th floor, and it's separate from the ballroom. So for smaller weddings, maybe anywhere from like 30 to, I would say, 70, maybe 80, you can do the whole thing at the top as well.
Sure.
You know, so they could have the ceremony downstairs and then come up top for the dinner and then reception. So just lots of different options. And, you know, a lot of people I've been seeing at all these shows are somewhat intimidated because they're thinking like, oh my gosh, it's the Hilton, we're not going to be able to afford something like that. But not necessarily true. I mean, we just renovated, and I'm more wanting to get butts in the seats and get people fresh blood into this hotel so they can see it. So I can work with just about any budget. I mean, you know, we have and
tried and true.
We were working with that client the other day, and they had something that was challenging to work with, and we found a way to make it work. We can always do something.
Well, that's that's the thing I love about you, is you have that attitude. You know, it'd be better to accommodate someone, make them happy, bring income in, than just to say no. We will not accommodate you below this price point.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, a lot of other properties, and for brides out there listening, just kind of scoping stuff out, always ask like what your room rental is and food and beverage minimum as well, because a lot of these venues, they'll give you like, say, a $8,000 food and beverage minimum, and then they'll have a $2,000 room rental that you're paying regardless if you meet the minimum. Like for me though, I think room rental is a little bit gougy, so as long as you meet my food and beverage minimum, you don't have any room rental with me, so you get to spend that money. I would rather see you spend that money on centerpieces, buying rounds of drinks for your family, you know, decorations on the room, a cake. Like, spend that money towards tangible items, not just 100% profit to the hotel, which is what the room rental truly comes down to, you know?
Yeah. A lot of people feel like they're getting a deal when you're like, I'll waive the room fee if you do this. And they're like, no way, really? Because I'd say 90% of wedding venues, you pay for the venue. The venues, you can bring your own caterer and this and that. So they're only making money off the venue, where you've got everything there. You're pretty much all inclusive with the food and beverage.
For that food and beverage minimum, as long as you hit it, you know, that includes all the tables and chairs, you know, all the china, flatware,
linen,
servers for the event. We just spent $30,000 on custom linens for the hotel that are beautiful, kind of this slate blue, matching all of our carpets. So all of that is coming with everything you get with us when you meet that minimum, you know, so you're not really needing to spend more. And if you want to spend more, we have wonderful in-house services. You can get chair covers from me. I'm just now finished pricing out centerpieces of all different shapes and sizes, different florals. I mean, my goal is to make this Hilton Seattle the one-stop shop for all of your wedding needs, and then we'll partner together on all the DJs. So essentially, you know, come to Hilton Seattle, you can get DJ limo photography, centerpieces, chair covers, food and beverage. Like, the list keeps going.
Yeah.
You know, where are you going to find that in the middle of the city?
I know.
Plus the parking.
You see all too often at the end of weddings, before they break down everything, you've got the bride and the bridesmaids are all taking pictures. Like, what are you guys doing? Well, we had to pay for all these centerpieces, and we're now going to have to put them up on different websites and try to sell them. They have no use for this after their wedding, and so that's smart that you have them there.
Yeah, and we have a couple different options. Like, you can rent the centerpieces if you don't want to worry about like the vases, and if you rent them, when we do the florals in the center, we put them as a bouquet, so you can take them with you and leave the vase with us. Or if you do want to purchase the centerpiece, that's an option too. We would just purchase a vase for that, and you can take them home or gift them to people. So lots of different options, and just kind of tell us what you want. So
nice. You're creative. Smart. Well, it's time. Johnny has brought us over another guest for our show. But Jeremiah, tell everyone how they can contact you to come take a look at the Hilton for brides or corporate or private parties, whatever.
So, you can always just walk in. I am at the hotel Tuesday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. My direct line is 206-695-6060, or you can always go to thehiltonseattle.com, and there's an info link that goes directly to my email there. So you can find me. I'm always there.
Okay.
So
great.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. This is Johnny the Copper, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're wondering by hearing the tone of my voice. I'm going to have Jeremiah from the Hilton interview our guy from Iceworks. No way. Yeah, wait. You want to be in?
Yeah,
How would you like to do that? Have some
Iceworks, I'm loving it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Viva ENT here. Johnny the Capo here. We are live right now, today, at the Xfinity Arena. So, even if my listeners that are listening today are down south, South Seattle, I don't care where you are, get up here to Everett today because there's a lot of happenings going on. Come up here, I'll even sing you a song.
Loving it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my good buddy James Royale from Iceworks. Jeremiah Kahn is my new Viva ENT reporter at the wedding show. Take it over, gentlemen.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks
thank
so much
you.
for coming out today.
Oh, yes. Love to be a part of the show.
Yeah, you kind of got to get out there and meet those brides, right?
All the time, yes.
Well, cool. So tell us a little bit about Iceworks. I assume you do ice sculpting,
Ice
maybe?
sculpting, yes.
Oh,
I've been
cool.
doing it for 29 years. Coming up on 29 years. I'm an old man at it.
So how do you go about doing something like that? Like, I know I've seen shows where they have these really crazy, intricate sculptures, and do you use a chainsaw, or what do you use for that? Something?
Yes, I use a chainsaw. Electric chainsaw, Japanese ice carving chisels, saws, routers, grinders, whatever it takes to cut up the ice.
Sure.
I use it. Even use nails.
Nice. Yeah, it's just kind of something to do that. So now, have you done like a lot of wedding sort of centerpieces, or what type of things do you typically do in ice for weddings? Have you seen?
It's about anything that the brides and grooms ask for. I've worked with a caterer recently who always gives the ice carving to the bride to have something made for the groom. So I've made for the hunters dogs with ducks hanging out of their mouths.
Oh, wow.
4x4s, cameras. Other weddings stuff I've done is Eiffel Tower, Arc de Triomphe, Leaning Tower Pisa, and of course the hearts. Not really swans. I haven't done swans in years. It's
Yeah.
kind of like 80s, 90s.
Yeah, kind of dying breed.
Yes.
Well, cool. And then, so I know I've seen too, for some of those corporate events out there, I swear I've seen like luges or something like that where you can like pour mixed drinks or something. Is that something you guys do too for maybe
Yes.
like a bar at a wedding or corporate event?
Yes, I carve bars and whole bars out of ice and luges to pour drinks down through, punch bowls with logos in them. Also, just for the theme, whatever the theme is. And
Right. So you can. Is there a way you can like say my colors were like black and white? Can you incorporate colors into ice sculptures too, or what kind of options are?
Yes, I can.
existing
I
in
can do
that?
colors.
Okay.
Yes, it's usually it's a longer process to do. It's not ice. It's done with gelatin and food coloring, tempera paint. But it makes, when you do it with the color, it lasts longer because it's actually embedded into the ice.
Right. Okay, cool. And then, how long does something like that typically last? I mean, say I was doing like a 5-6 hour wedding, like would my sculpture
It would last.
It would last the
It
whole
would
time.
last. The sculpture that I'm having here today will last all day. Easily 8 hours.
Oh, nice. And I think you're here tomorrow too. Will it
Yes.
still be live for tomorrow, or you
Yes.
got another one made?
I will have another one made.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Cool. And so typically, like, how long does it take for you to make something? I mean, obviously it depends on like the sculpture.
It depends
I'm
upon
sure.
the design.
So
The one I have today, I made a picture frame, and I did a swirl of ice, and it took me about an hour and a half to carve to get it all done.
nice. And so I assume you kind of start with like a full block of ice, and you
A
kind of
300
chisel
pound.
down. Wow.
300-pound block of ice, and then I just cut it up to whatever needs to be done. And like the
Nice.
piece I have here, I it's in different pieces, and then once I bring it here, I piece it back together again. Makes it a lot easier to haul around. Don't have to worry about breakage.
Yeah, so that was actually one of my next questions. So I feel like ice is not a very forgiving structure. So have you ever had, spent hours on something and you like snap the goose's neck off or something? Or
You can pretty much put it back together.
Oh, you can?
Yes, it just, just holding it on there a little bit. If it snaps in the right way,
Right.
You can use like gum out, use in carpets, whatever, because it's really
kind of
cold.
clear, right?
You freeze it back on, and then once it melts in there, it should hold, as long as somebody doesn't like whack it.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So do you have like a local studio? Like say I was wanting to come and check out different sculptures, or where can we learn more about, what you do and get more information?
You can check me out at iceworksnw.com. That's my
Okay.
website. I'm also on Facebook. I throw a lot of my pictures on there. It's under one word, Iceworks and NW. And come there, like it, follow me, and I try to put all the pictures out there when I'm not as busy.
Yeah.
Usually when I'm busy, I finally get around to it a couple of weeks later and throw some pictures on, because a lot of people like to see.
So there's a portfolio where we can see some of the things that you've done.
I've
Awesome.
got a portfolio. Yes.
And now, typically, what kind of is there pricing start points, or does it really depend on what people are wanting?
Well, usually a full block sculpture, I start at $350.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Most of the carvings, they run about that size. If they want something bigger or more ice, then I kind of go up from there. Logos usually start about $400. If I have to add color to it, I usually have to charge an extra $25 a color. It's a longer process.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To put it in there, to freeze it back up. It basically doubles the amount of time I have to put into the ice.
And so you can do how large can you go on a nice sculpture?
I can go large.
The limit.
I've done 10 feet tall sculptures.
Oh,
I just got back from Lake Chelan Winterfest and did a 6.5 foot tall seahorse.
Oh, that's cool.
And talking about breakage, the head, my carving partner hit the ear and the head fell off. Luckily, I caught it. Did the Jermaine curse and caught it with one hand, and luckily we put it back on and we held it. We froze it and finished carving the rest of the body, and then hope and prayed that we can take out the supports, and we did, and it actually lasted all night, and the next day sunny. It just turned out beautiful.
Just awesome.
I have pictures on that on my Facebook as well.
I actually want to check that out. That's cool. Now, what about how small? I went to this one event the other day, and they had ice balls in a drink, so it was like their mixed drinks that they were doing, and this particular event I went to, they had ice balls with the company logo on it, and then all signature cocktail. It was Cobalt Mortgage, and they just had their logo, and it was a blue drink, and it was cool because it was kind of, you didn't have to have chunks of ice. It was like a floating ice ball. Now, is that something you've seen
not really.
I
haven't gotten into the ice balls. That's a little bit different process of doing it.
Because I think when they had the machine, they had a little square and they put it in there and it presses it or something.
Yes,
right?
it's a mold. It just it just presses in there. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, and those actually they last a long time.
Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for kind of coming on here today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Really appreciate your time. And if you guys are coming out here to the Everett show, be sure to stop by Iceworks booth. Do you know what aisle you're in? Or are you kind of there right as you walk on?
I'm in the first aisle as you come inside the show.
Cool. Yeah. So it looks like we got a new guest here, right?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
James, it's always a pleasure to have you. Even though you're in the icy kind of business, I still like you. You're my man. Okay, thank you so much. Jeremiah Kahn from the Seattle Hilton. Ben Lucas, one of Seattle's finest photographers.
Love it. Well, welcome.
Hello.
See, I feel like I've seen you before. Was it Salty's where we worked together last time?
Yes.
That's where it is. Well, how's it going today? Where are you? So is it Yom? Or what was your nom?
Nom creative.
Nom creative.
As in nom 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 nom. The sound the Cookie Monster makes when he's staring into the cookie jar.
Oh. Love it. So photography, right?
Yes.
Cool. So I guess, obviously, wedding photography is kind of what you're here to showcase today. So I guess tell us a little bit about kind of different things you can do, like I'm sure engagement sessions, kind of the full deal?
Yeah, absolutely. So I really like doing high dramatic flair with a little bit of fashion with that magazine cover style polish.
Nice.
So these really kind of moody, dramatic images that really are the centerpieces for your home. And yeah, every collection comes with an engagement session because I really feel like that's a great time for people to work out with their photographer and get comfortable with them, because everyone totally works differently. No matter what photographer you hire, you have to get used to how they work behind the camera. So
Right, and so I'm sure not only for the engagement session, but can we get like prints from you? Like if I wanted a book made?
Oh yeah,
those sorts of things you
absolutely
can get from you as well.
Yeah, so the album I see as your first family heirloom. So every single collection also comes with an album, and when you come into the studio, I actually have one wall that has all the different things that you can get. So you can walk up to them, look at them, touch them, and see
cool.
these are all the different materials you can get it.
So you do have a studio. Where's your studio located?
Yeah, so my studio's in Georgetown, just south of SoDo.
Oh, cool. That's a great area. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's
So
very cool.
Brides and grooms can come to you for like consultations and stuff like that, and then do the actual engagement session there as well, or can you do them in different venues?
So the engagement session I usually do on location. So next week I'm actually doing one on a couple's rooftop. We're doing like a rooftop
cool.
picnic overlooking Seattle. So yeah, just whatever's important to them.
Nice. And then so going to like they say the actual big day of the event, do you typically, is there options to have like a photographer like following the groom, following the bride, or how do you typically do a wedding day of?
Yeah,
shoot?
sure. So it's just me on the wedding day. The one question a lot of people get is the getting ready part, and I just set it up so I shoot the bride getting ready first, then the groom getting ready, and then the first look together if they want one, so that way I can really cover everything. And then that walk down the aisle, I love the groom's reaction because he always has a super emotional reaction seeing that bride walk down.
Nice. Okay, cool. And then so, like, say, we get all these things. Do we get digital copies of the images too? Are they on a website? I mean, what if I want to send them to someone that couldn't come out to the wedding? What are my
absolutely.
options?
So there's two different options. First of all, right now I'm doing thumb drives, but of course as technology evolves, that could be changing. So it could be the next big thing. But yeah, you'll get all your digital negatives. I also do online galleries. So when you have that cousin or aunt that couldn't make it to the wedding, you can send them that as well.
Cool, that's awesome. And then, now, is that something that is like typically included with the package, or do you pay a little bit more for that, or how does that work?
Yeah, so depending on the collection, that is included in some of the collections.
Cool. And now, as far as kind of pricing goes, are you kind of flexible, or do you have like starting prices for all sorts of different, I guess, needs, or how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So full day collections that include up to 8 hours of coverage and an album start at $3,000 and go up depending on what album you want. But I also have done a lot of elopements where people are just like, hey, I want like 2 hours of coverage and like one big print. Or
okay,
something like
cool.
that.
So they're not kind of like locked into a package if they want to work with you
absolutely.
and they like your artwork.
Yeah, you can get anything as low as 2 hours of coverage with a few products, all the way up to I've done 10, 14-hour weddings with the whole kitchen. So,
well, awesome. That's so cool. So now, do you have anything else you want to kind of mention to our listeners about your business and anything how they can work with you?
Oh yeah. So I really love couples that are just looking for artwork for their home and love that kind of upbeat contemporary look. There's a lot of different photographers out there. So number one, definitely find someone whose style you like. Number two, find someone whose personality you like, because for your photographer, it's the shadow for the whole day.
Right.
So yeah, those are the two most important things when finding someone. If you want to find more about me, it's just nomcreative.com.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time today. If you're going to be out at the Everett Wedding Show at the Xfinity Arena, be sure to stop by his booth where I think I saw you. You're like kind of right when you walk in the door, right?
I'm
Great spot.
Right when you walk in the door by the fashion show.
Okay, cool. And he'll have excellent samples of all of his work and answer all your questions. So thank you so much for being a guest today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We hope to see you guys all here today. So
all right,
take
thanks.
care.
All right, folks. Well, this is Becka Page back with Viva ENT, broadcasting from the Xfinity Arena today at the Everett Wedding Expo. The brides are already coming in, and grooms. There's one right there. Hello, groom. You're on the radio. Uh, and we have been interviewing vendors, and I just met a fabulous one that I'm so excited to have on. This is Dr. Lael Atkinson, and she is a fabulous wedding officiant, aren't you?
Well, Becca, I love celebrating love.
Yes.
And so I make the services personal. I help the couple and all their family and friends to just celebrate their love story and then their future as well.
Great. And so you get involved with the families too, which is cool.
Well, that's the great part, is you're working with a couple, and yes, you learn about their family story, you learn about how they met, and you help everybody. I think of it as inspiring everyone to help evolve their own love stories in a new way because of the couple's example.
Exactly. And it's nice when the families are close with each other because, one thing I like to tell people is right before cake, I like to tell people why we cut and serve cake. And there's a million different reasons, but the one I've chosen and the one I love is that cake cutting is a ceremony in itself. And what it is both couples go up. She puts her hand on the knife. He covers his hand with hers, and that represents his strength backing the decisions they're going to make throughout the rest of their lives. They cut that single piece of cake into two, and when they feed each other, that's their promise to always provide for each other. And then I tell the guests, wait, this is going to blow your mind.
You're great,
Now
Becca.
we cut the cake and we serve it to everyone else here. And when you take that first bite, that's your commitment to always love and honor these people throughout the rest of their lives. So in 10 years and 6 kids later, when they call you, say, can you watch the kids? You have to because you ate the cake. So it's about getting all the families together and supporting each other and using their own examples of their marriages and life's trials. Marriage isn't easy, but it's definitely a goal that you need to work on the rest of your lives. And if you do, it's always happy. I look at my grandparents and how happy they are, and they're in their 80s, and it's still going. And you have to reflect on those people and, okay, what have they done in this time of their lives? I know that they had a hardship. How did they get past it? To be able to turn back to your family and ask them these questions is great, because I hate when couples just give up. And so a lot of it does have to do with the ceremony and your officiant and what they say to you beforehand to make you understand the commitment that you're about to make. You don't take it lightly.
And as an officiant, that's how I look at working with a couple in preparing for the ceremony. It's an opportunity to strengthen their relationship as they get ready for this lifetime commitment, because we all know relationships are hard. You've just reminded us, and yet when you are committed to the commitment, as much as to each other, you can work through some very hard times and come out stronger.
Absolutely.
In yourself as well as with your partner.
Yeah, I was doing some research actually the other day, and it was questions and answers, things that you should think about before you actually get married. Do you go through this with the couples too? How to handle the finances,
the household chores,
children,
spirituality, emotional issues, right?
Yeah.
Even talking about the bedroom.
Yeah.
Because communication, no matter what it is, communication is at the base. And if you're talking well, all of those arenas are going to be in good shape.
Yeah. You have to have a game plan ahead of time, especially if one's Catholic and one's LDS, and it can work. You can make it work, but you need to learn how to make that work, because you have different sets of beliefs. Then when you have children, that's when it starts getting a little tricky on how do we raise them. So it can be done.
And one of the great things about our current culture is we live in such diversity.
Yes.
And to make that an enriching experience and not divisive. And also another thing I say to couples, particularly younger couples, that in planning the wedding and the wedding ceremony, they're defining themselves as a couple, as a family in and of themselves for the first time. So if there are tensions with in-laws or with your own parents, you want to be coming together with your partner in the strongest way possible, because it's definitive.
It's pretty cute, because I watch how they plan their weddings and the day of how they behave, and I just know what type of couples they are. You either have the groom who's like, I didn't do a damn thing and I'm just happy to be here, or the ones where the groom's plan it and the brides really didn't have anything to do with the wedding. It's so different, but it's kind of cute because it's a good way to read the crowd. And
it's wonderful being at a wedding expo like this, because you see the different couples, and I always say to the grooms, thanks for being here today.
I know.
And there's a good
They're
number
troopers.
that come out.
Yeah. I always crack up on the Sundays when there's football games and the guys are here with their hands in their pants and everything. I said, their hands in their front pockets and they're kind of sulking because they're missing the game. And, but then when you start talking to them, say, you're an important part of this. I want you to be part of this. And then they
good sport for being here.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not all about dresses and ruffles. So.
Yeah. Well, we're in for a great day here.
Yeah.
And I love meeting the couples. Often you get to meet their mothers or their girlfriends, their bridesmaids. And the conversations I have with people are just a way to help them start thinking about their ceremony.
Yeah.
I always say, I might not be your cup of tea, but I could help you find your cup of tea.
Exactly.
Because the officiant is such an important part of the day. And Becka, I'm stunned when I hear that so many times the officiant is the last piece of the wedding puzzle that people put in place. But it's a chance to find someone you really want to work with and who is going to express your love and your joy.
And tell your story.
Tell your story.
You need someone to tell your story.
You have my card in your hands. Yeah. I like to think I'm the officiant to help you celebrate your love story on that big day in a way that everyone will remember. They're going to remember the cake and the dress, your great music, all of those things. But what caveat, what have you helped them carry out about this couple, the hope for their future, but also about love in your own life?
Yeah, and it's a really cool thing for me to watch ceremonies, and I watch the guests' reactions, and there's just some officiants that have that flared where everybody is captured by every word they say and they remember it. And then there's the ones who get up there and they're just like, marriage brings us together today, and people are just like looking at their watches and I don't ever want that for brides. I want it to be special. That the ceremony is the most important part of the entire day to me. And
if you're listening to this program right now and you're getting married or know someone who is, all I can say is call Becka.
Yep.
Call the station because she knows good officiants. And,
Absolutely.
Certainly not just me, but other people. Because she wants, as a DJ and as a person who loves love. We love love, Becka, don't we?
Absolutely.
We love love. And she can help you find the right person to celebrate your love story.
Let's tell them your contact information so they can contact you
well,
too.
Becka, I have a website, of course.
Okay.
Right? But the name of my business that I've just started, I've been in Boston for years but moved back to Seattle to do this new work. It's Welcome to We.
Cute.
That's a number in between. WelcomeToWe.com, where we celebrate relationships and empower communities.
Nice.
I officiate weddings, memorial services, lead workshops, counseling and coaching sessions. I would love to work with people who are looking to grow individually, but also in coupling and in wider community.
Awesome. That's really cool. You have a very cool
well,
job.
thank you so much
Very
for talking
cool.
with me,
So-
and let's have a great day at the expo.
Yeah, so that was Dr. Lael Atkinson. She's going to be here all weekend here at the Xfinity Arena for the Everett Wedding Expo. So thank you so much. It's
Becka,
been a pleasure.
thank you for reaching out.
All right,
Great
we'll
to be
talk
with
again.
you.
Good
Great.
morning and welcome to the Wedding Expo. I am Brad Buckles, and we are on the floor of the Linwood Everett Wedding Show today. I have a very good friend of mine that is just getting started at the show this morning as brides are lined on the floor. Tell us about Younique.
Thank you for having us today. It's a pleasure to be here. Younique is a all-natural-based cosmetic and skincare line. Our number one seller is the 3D mascara. You can instantly get 300% the volume of your mascara, which is a 3-step process.
It's the hottest thing in the country right now.
It is.
It's a cosmetic mascara that doesn't move or change throughout the day. I don't wear mascara, so yeah.
So it's better than having to go in and get false lashes done.
Right.
It's a 3-step process of gel, fibers, gel, and you seal in the fibers, and it instantly lengthens and makes fuller lashes.
And then it's permanent, right?
No, it washes off with soap and water.
Oh, okay, but it's not like in the rain or something like that, very prolific here in the Northwest. It's going to last through some of the weather conditions?
I've lived in the Northwest my whole life, and I use it every day, and I don't have black raccoon eyes at the end of the day.
Well, there you go. I know that photographers are talking about this because I've done 4 bridal shows in the last 4 weekends, and this is the hottest product on the floor. Tell our listeners how much this is, because this is the best part about it.
It's $29 plus tax.
So if you go and have lashes put on, it's usually about $100 from what I understand.
$100 to $150.
Yes, and then you sell this product that has how many different applications in it?
It's a 3-step process. So you do gel, fibers, gel,
And it'll last how long?
It'll last all day until you wash it off with soap and water.
And then you can use the same product again the next day?
Yes, the product is good for up to 3 months.
So for 3 months, you can buy 30 days or 30 applications of false eyelashes?
Correct.
See, that's what makes this thing so unique. Thank you for being here. Give us your website.
It is www.uniquebyamberbrooker.com.
Uniquebyamberbrooker.com. All right, thank you. We'll see you later. I have with me a very good friend, Sarah, who is with
Young Living Essential Oils and Generation O.
Which is kind of cool because it's probably the hottest new product to hit our show in the last several years. What is it?
Well, let me tell you, Young Living Essential Oils are basically the lifeblood of the plant. So we use essential oils as our medicine. We use them for everything from aches and pains to congestion. It helps boost our immune system.
Helps you sleep?
Absolutely. Helps you sleep, too.
So people might ask why essential oils are so important to a wedding show. And we have just found that women who come to wedding shows have all kinds of particular little things about their body. And as the women are coming through here, your booth has been #1 super successful because they want help. And we have found that the health element at a bridal show is super, super important, and oils help that. So
yes.
We're talking essential oils, basically.
Another thing, Brad, is that essential oils aren't just for brides. They're for everyone. So they're for everyone that walks through this wedding show, from the mother of the bride, the mother of the groom, the bridesmaids, even the other vendors, Brad. Everyone needs these oils.
I can imagine. I even use the oils now, and I wasn't even really sure what it was for. But I don't sleep very often and not very easily, and so after using a couple of your oils, I sleep like 10 minutes later. It's crazy.
Yep, I'm still in disbelief every day. Young Living oils have changed my family's life. I never even meant to tell anybody about oils, and in fact, I was a closet oiler for a couple of months.
A closet oiler. I like that.
I was a
that
closet
sounds like
oiler.
a bad football team.
I wasn't going to tell anyone about it, but the truth is that they've changed me and my family's life so much that I really just feel led to share with everyone, because I think everyone could benefit from using Young Living.
The thing I like about it, too, here at the show, you often find various different products that come, and they're kind of weird or they're kind of different. Your booth is really straightforward. How many different kinds of oils do you have?
Well, Young Living carries over 200 different oils, but that can be overwhelming, Brad. So what we focus on here at the wedding show is just helping people get started with their own wholesale account and their premium starter kit, which comes with 11 different oils that have been chosen for their versatility. And also it comes with a home diffuser, which is great to change the mood of a room on the stealthy side.
So it'll take a diffused essential oil with a certain scent or a certain idea, and it'll just put it in the room?
Absolutely. What the diffuser does is there's no heat involved. There's a vibrating metal plate in the bottom of it that you put water in, and then a few drops of essential oil, and then that vibrating metal plate micronizes the oils into the air, so you're breathing them as well as they're absorbing into your skin.
I cannot tell you enough, guys. This diffuser has become the coolest toy at the Buckles house. My son, my wife, myself, we use this diffuser like we never lived without it, and it is amazing. As you say, if you're suffering from depression, if you have some sort of a health issue, if you have an ailment. I had knee surgery, as you know, and she has made my aches and pains go away on a really long day. But I always thought essential oils and things like that were kind of creepy. They were kind of mystical. They were like, don't touch me. But it is definitely one of the most popular booths here at the show, and we have heard for the last year since you've been attending the shows, all the vendors that are buying this stuff like crazy.
Yeah.
Even if you put essential oils in drinks.
Yep.
Like I know that my wife puts lemon oil in water, and supposedly the benefit of that is...
Oh, it's excellent. It helps to detox your body. Citrus oils in general help lift your mood, too, so it's a great way to just be happy, and who doesn't want to be happy?
I couldn't agree, especially being happy at a bridal show.
Yeah.
So how do we find you?
When you come through the doors, we're in the back left of the room, and you could actually probably close your eyes and follow your nose.
And because this is a radio program and it's going to be online once we release it, where would we find you if we didn't attend the show?
I see. You could find me at sarahleanlee@gmail.com.
Okay.
It's SarahLeannlee@gmail.com. Or you can call me. I love phone calls.
What's your phone number?
It's 206-999-9629.
And do you have a website? Not so much?
No, we are really a personal type of a business where I want to connect with you. I want to talk with you on the phone. I want to be your friend on Facebook. And if you're local here, I'd like to get together with you, because what I'd like to do is make sure that you know how to use your oils. And what we don't ever want anybody to do is just spend money and go away with a product. We want to make sure that you're actually using these oils and seeing the same benefits that we have. So for that reason, it's a relationship that I want to develop with everyone that we get connected with oils.
And there's nothing wrong with a good oily relationship, right?
Right.
As I say, it's a lot of fun to get oily. But it's amazing how the benefits are very simple. They're very straightforward. Your booth is full of people that just want to know a little bit more. And once you tell them, they kind of go, oh, I didn't know that.
Right. Brad, the oils, they work on a cellular level. So they're not just masking our pain or masking our symptoms. The molecules of Young Living essential oils are so small that they actually go inside of our cells, and they help clean the receptor sites so our cells can actually take in nutrients and oxygen better, which helps our cells communicate better, which in turn helps our whole body perform better.
Which is just really straightforward,
right.
So simple. Well, thank you this morning for being here. We're going to go talk about something fun and cool, and we certainly don't want to get past the oils, but it's certainly time to move on. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Brad.
I am sitting here this morning at the Everett Wedding Expo with a very good friend of mine from the Men's Wearhouse, who knows more about men's fashion than anybody I've ever met. Your name is?
Pearl.
Pearl, and you're with the what store?
I am with the Alderwood Mall Linwood location store. We are the biggest store in the nation.
It is the Men's Wearhouse store of Men's Wearhouse stores, right?
It is.
What is it that makes that particular area so popular for men's clothing?
I think we have done such a good job with world-class customer service. We have great value, a lot of merchandise, and a lot of styles to choose from.
And, of course, you're the general manager. You are it.
I think I'm the store general manager, the mom of it all. Yes, I am.
You are the one that makes the customer service so good.
Why, thank you.
What is it about men's fashion that you find so interesting?
I think fashion changes how you feel about yourself. When you look good, you feel good. There is something about putting on anything. Moms, brides, sisters, girlfriends, anybody who sees a guy dressed up, the appearance is just totally different. Kind of makes your heart go pitter-patter. I think it's as much for the women as it is for the guys, and we try to make sure guys feel comfortable, and it's easy to do at our store.
Well, I appreciate that. I know one thing I like about you is you make it so simple. It's not complicated. So guys that don't like to shop don't feel like they're coming out of their different personality to do so. You just make it very comfortable.
Yeah, we kind of do everything for you, from the socks all the way up. As you know, our crazy socks have been a big thing in our store, but we try to make it as easy as possible to come there and look wonderful and just have fun with it. It shouldn't be a hard thing to do, and we really try to make sure that guys have a great, happy experience, and it's not something they dread doing.
Now, with suits and with men's work clothes, that's one aspect of it, but you guys opened up rentals and tuxedos here about 10, 12 years ago that just blew the whole country on its side. What is it about Men's Wearhouse with tuxedos that has been such a success?
Well, when you take a company that deals with just suiting men for a living, it obviously gives you a structure that makes it easy. When you put them in a tuxedo, we are suiting them like we would be suiting them in a $1,000 suit. They're going to get the best fit, the best styles, and we carry a cut for every man, regardless of size, height. It's totally irrelevant to us. We're going to make him look stunning regardless of all of that and give the bride what she's looking for in a tuxedo rental.
What I liked about Men's Wearhouse and the concept when I first came across it way back in the very beginning was I could come in, I could pick things that I particularly liked that may or may not go with the tuxedo. I mean, today I'm wearing a vest and slacks and cufflinks and tennis shoes, which I just happen to adore. And it was interesting to me that as time has gone by, Men's Wearhouse is developing more of a formal, casual look, kind of leading the country with this in the men's formal wear division.
Yes, we do a lot of that. In fact, at the show here today, I have one pair of Puma dress shoes, a pair of Converse tuxedo shoes, a pair of Spats black and whites. Yeah, we try to give people what they enjoy and what they want to wear. It's more important to have fun with it. Of course, a bride can veto it, so we do know that does happen. But times are changing, and Men's Wearhouse is at the forefront of that change. Contemporary high fashion, tighter, slimmer looks for guys who can pull that off. It's all a big base for the Men's Wearhouse, and we try to be the beginner of everything to give people options. The old days are over, and times are moving up. We do have contemporary as well as the standard black and white that you've seen from childhood. So
you also have a special relationship with David's Bridal that we should talk about, where you have some sort of a color match something where you can get certain colors that bridesmaids are choosing and then develop it into a look for the men as well?
Absolutely. We coordinate with all of their colors, either an exact match or complementary coordinating colors. Bride could come in with her swatches from Dave's Bridal, and we would take her swatches and coordinate them exactly to what was booked for them originally. So Dave's Bridal has a swatch. We come up with a vest to match that. It's all coordinated together. If you shop there, you can come over with yours, and we're going to match you exactly, or as best as you would like it to look.
So we're talking vest, T-square,
yeah,
bow ties.
vest, pocket silks, bow ties, long ties. There, we carry it all. It's not just one. You don't have to come in and get just a long tie. You can do the bow tie. You can do the pocket square. You can do the socks that match now. I mean, you can actually, coming up next year, you'll actually be able to do a lapel pin that matches your tuxedo fabric. We'll have those out in spring of this year. So we're really becoming more innovative. Even shoelaces for your shoes.
Yeah, actually, I bought a couple of those. My favorite suit all time from the Men's Wearhouse is my linen suit. And I bought this about 3-4 years ago and have worn that at some of the fanciest summer weddings that you could go to. My good old trusty linen suit from the Men's Wearhouse has been perfect, and I get compliments on it all the time.
And another thing to remember is with the linen suits, that's a purchase item that you keep. But because the groom comes in, if he mentioned this radio conversation was at the bridal show today, we would give him half off his whole wedding party purchase, as well as price matching any other vendor for rental.
Oh, that's cool. So they would just walk into your store or into any of the stores?
They could walk into any store. Of course, I would prefer them to come to the Alderwood store.
The Alderwood store it is.
The Alderwood store has great parking, friendly staff, and it is very unique in the size and styles that it carries.
And they just use the password or the discount code PEARL?
That's it. That works anywhere.
We're going to get calls now. This is going to go live in a few minutes, but then it also goes onto social media. So we'll have to see.
Pearl.
All right. Thank you so much for being
You're
here this
welcome.
morning.
And
of course, if you come to the Wedding Expo today or tomorrow, Pearl's in her booth over by the front door,
Absolutely.
graciously sponsoring the Wedding Expo this weekend.
Thanks a lot. It was great having you here with us, too.
No problem. Thank
you. Take care, dear. Bye-bye.
This morning is the Everett Wedding Expo up at the Comcast Xfinity Arena, and I am sitting with Wendy from Albertsons, who is our ace-up-the-sleeve cake maker, because most people don't go to Albertsons when they think of wedding cakes.
Correct.
And I know for a fact they happen to have some of the best wedding cakes. It's just the best-kept secret. Tell me, for the average bride that's going to walk into Albertsons, what is her surprise when she finds out you guys do wedding cakes?
Just the creativity and the ability that our cake decorators at every store have.
It was interesting because when I first got contacted by Albertsons a couple years ago, I had already gone to Albertsons because we shop at Albertsons, and I've already tasted a couple of their chocolate cakes, and I'm a huge fan. What I didn't realize was how extravagant the decor can be.
Correct.
I always thought Albertsons did really good supermarket-type cakes. I then got to go and ask and kind of challenge them to do some fun wedding cakes, and I was really impressed with what they do. I was amazed at how many different cake decorators you have in the company that are all over the area.
Correct. Each store has an average of 2 cake decorators that are able to fulfill any need. We have our basic cakes that we are able to do, but also we love doing whatever the bride brings into that we could use to make their wedding a dream. So.
And what would you say your average price ranges are? Obviously more extravagant, more expensive, but probably not half as much as other cake decorators.
No, we can fit any budget from any cake right around $50 up to $400 to $600. It really depends on what the bride has in mind, and we try to work with them on every level, offering different ideas, little corners that we can cut so we can definitely manage their budget.
Now, wedding cake is super important for people because it's just one of those things you can't have a wedding without.
Correct.
But one of the ace-up-the-sleeve secrets is your cupcakes, because I happen to be a big fan of cupcakes.
Yes.
Cupcakes hit the wedding industry like an absolute landslide several years ago, and you guys have the big cupcakes and the little small cupcakes.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Everybody has been really navigating towards that instead of having somebody slice them all up. So we have a decadent cake that is more elaborate, as well as the miniature little cakes that we can sell. They're sold pretty much by the each, so based on how many people you're intending to have at your wedding, we can make sure everyone has at least one.
So different flavors, different colors, different shapes.
Correct, whatever you'd like.
They did me a set of 12 cakes for 12 men for the Super Bowl last year, and I was blown away at the extravagance of this taste and the flavors.
Correct.
That I just never would have thought would have come from a grocery store, personally.
Yes.
And then I found out you guys have actually acquired, is it Safeway now?
Safeway, yes.
So you guys are going to basically take over the whole area.
We are all one company now, yes.
That is the secret that most people don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, and So now you're cake decorating, your cupcakes, and all the other things that you guys make.
Mm-hmm.
Do you make candy bars?
No. There's several things, though, that they can make at store level to work with anybody's needs, but not necessarily the candy bars. We do make in the floral departments, though, things like candy arrangements that can.
There we go. That's what I was referring to as candy.
Yeah.
Bars. So candy
Yes.
arrangements you can do.
Yes, we do.
Flowers are really popular.
Yes, we also have every store has a full-service floral department and can make any wedding bouquets. That's another thing that we're showing here today as well.
The one thing I did not know, and I'm still amazed by, is your alcohol selection.
Pretty large.
Yeah. I cannot, tell us about that, because most people have no idea this is true.
Well, now that with the new Washington state laws, we're able to carry all sorts of spirits within the stores, run discounts and specials based on how much you purchase and whether or not you're purchasing a wedding cake as well. So anything from hard alcohol to wine, champagne, and beer.
So they can come in months ahead of time. What do you suggest if someone's getting married in July? How soon do they come in?
We can actually take care of things within 2 weeks before their wedding, but we
So
do like to have a little bit more notice than
It's always
that.
safe, right?
So,
Especially
yes.
during the high volume months.
Exactly.
They come in and they tell you need so many cases of champagne, wine, beer, hard
Yes.
liquor.
We have wine stewards at every store that's able to help figure out exactly how much you need for the amount of people you're having at your party.
Here's the secret that nobody has ever thought about when it comes to grocery stores, is that for rehearsal dinners, for private dinner parties at the home with the families that don't necessarily want to go out because they're going to have a big weekend, they decide to eat in. I had no idea how much detail your wine connoisseurs, your steak, your beef, and your fish. What am I trying to say? The people that sell it behind the counter.
Yes.
They will all coincide a perfect meal, so a guy can look like he spent a lot of time preparing this.
Exactly.
All I did is ask like 3 questions. Help. I was really amazed at how a good job they lined up a couple of good pieces of fish and a couple of good pieces of steak. We had steak kebabs, we got the wine, we got everything.
Correct. And then we also have Service Deli also offers a bunch of tray selections, so we're definitely turned into a one-stop area for all of your wedding or party needs.
And price-wise, tell us how this compares with other places.
We are able, because of the way that we purchase, to offer a deal, a value to anybody that comes in. And like I said, it can range anywhere from as little as $20 on up to a few $100s.
So whether they have a coupon or not, it's worth their while to come in and start asking some questions.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I've been really impressed as I have gotten to know more about it and certainly heard from you guys here at the bridal shows. I just had no idea the flexibility that Albertsons offers.
Yes.
If they want to find you over the next several months, how would they get in contact with you?
You can just walk into any Albertsons store and be able to talk with anybody there.
Would you start with a manager? Would you just go straight to the bakery?
Straight to the department, and whatever you're looking for, be it the wedding or be it for the bakery, service deli for trays, or floral department, just start there, and then we'll definitely navigate you through the rest of the store for
I
whatever
just
you
need some help, huh?
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
We'll see you sometime between today and tomorrow here at the Expo.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Viva ENT. I'm here with my buddy Brad Buckles at the Everett Xfinity Arena for the Everett Wedding Expo.
It has been a blast. I cannot tell you how this show seems to get stronger and stronger. The energy of the brides and the excitement of the brides is on fire.
The energy is fabulous. I'm telling you, I'm looking in the brides' faces, and they're all excited to be here. This is a great show, and it's a great venue to have a wedding expo.
Well, thank you. We spend a lot of time researching the best places to do shows, the right environment, the right geographical location, and Everett's a home run. Every time we've done this show, it gets a little bit better and a little bit better. The quality of vendors is good, from hotels to caterers to Albertsons. I mean, of all things, people have no idea that Albertsons does as nice a wedding cakes as they do. And then DJ, photography, limousine, jewelry, the Men's Wearhouse, Bed Bath & Beyond. These are corporate companies that rely on this Everett show to pull leads for them throughout the year, and they have great success up here. Part of it is the Everett environment as a community has been very supportive of the bridal shows.
Oh, yeah, they have.
Everett's a blast to get married in. If you haven't been up in this area between Marysville and Everett and some of these outlying areas, they have farms, they have beautiful venues that brides can rent for the whole day for very cost-efficient prices and be able to just have fantastic photos.
Marvelous and wonderful. I want to thank our sponsors today, Saturn Barter Club. Brad, tell them a little bit about
Saturn
the
Barter is
Club.
the best way to spend money if you haven't come up with this besides dollars themselves, the Saturn Barter bucks.
I call it soft money. I love it.
Soft money, hard money, trade money, whatever you want. Kent over at Saturn Barter is somebody you should get to know.
That's correct. Kent Johnson over at Saturn Barter Club. Go to the website. I think it's SaturnBarterClub.com.
Yep. Ask for Kent Johnson in the office. He'll make you his new best friend.
One of our new sponsors is Eddie at Grand Event Rentals.
You know, I actually met that guy one time. He's pretty nice. He owns a company that can decorate anything. What's funny about it is he actually knows what he's talking about.
He sure does.
Yeah, and if you just go in there, he'll help you set up a concert. He'll help you decorate a wedding. He'll take over your corporate Christmas party. This guy's got more stuff in his warehouse than I've ever been able to look at.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, his warehouse is by my warehouse.
That's true. You guys are actually about the same size and shape and inventory. You got everything clear back to the end of the warehouse, packed full.
That's correct. Another one of our new sponsors, Mike Abella at 1,000 Words Photo Booth.
Yeah, you know, that guy, Mike, is actually pretty clever. He decides that he's going to take something like a photo booth trend, which is just taking over the country, and he decides to go, let me do something unique and different, and he puts it in a van. Not just any old van, but he goes back and buys like a 1960 Volkswagen van, like the old surfer style.
It was the talk of the Tacoma Wedding Expo.
It's the talk of the town. Anybody that sees this thing just thinks it's like a Woody from the Beach Boys movie, and just, I mean, it's beautiful. He rents it like crazy.
Yeah, that's correct. Glad to have him as a sponsor. And, of course, Brides Club has been sponsoring the show since the beginning.
Yeah, bridesclub.com is a great little website where you have about 1,400 wedding professionals online to help you plan your wedding day.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Viva ENT. Our next Wedding Expo, Brad, is
March 28th and 29th at the Tacoma Dome. If you go to the website, you can get discount tickets now.
We have open houses this week. We have the Edmonds Yacht Club on January 28th, which is this Wednesday from 6 to 9. We have the Seattle Hilton February 8th on a Sunday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
They've got that brand new remodeled banquet room, too. From what I understand, it's just a knockout.
Actually, we're there today with casino and DJ. It's all remodeled. It's fabulous and wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Brad Buckles, for co-hosting. We'll dig in now and see you later because you're a fine sweet potato.